421.1, explain the importance of submitting a well-written report. A well-written report reflects competence and professionalism. It is critical because it aids the state attorney's office in effective prosecutions, reduces legal liability for you and your agency, and saves the agency time and expense because it becomes a public record and a permanent representation of the facts. A poorly written report can let a criminal go free or send an innocent person to jail. 421.2 lists the common uses of law enforcement reports. Reports are commonly used in criminal and civil appeals, criminal case filings, criminal trials, civil proceedings, depositions, drafts of probable cause affidavits, internal affairs investigations, pretrial proceedings, probation and parole hearings, research, examination of past events, victim restitution hearings, and workers' compensation cases. They are also used for continuing investigations, coordinating activities, evaluating officer performance, keeping officers informed, and planning future services. It's found on pages 137 through 138. 421.3 lists the potential readers of law enforcement reports. Potential readers include other officers, supervisors, defense attorneys, prosecuting attorneys, judges, city count, state officials, media reporters, victims or their families, suspects, defendants, people convicted of crimes, members of the general public, and insurance companies. It can be found on page 138. 421.4 list common incidents that may require a report. Reports may be required for all crimes, officer use of force, suicides, death, missing or endangered persons, additional or supplemental information, runaway juveniles, found property, traffic crashes under certain legal circumstances, and miscellaneous non-criminal or suspicious incidents discussed on page 139. 422.1 describes strategies for using effective vocabulary. Expand your vocabulary by actively taking time to look up the meanings and proper usages of unfamiliar words and phrases. Having a professional vocabulary allows you to describe things precisely and document incidents effectively. Additionally, if you are unsure of a complex word's spelling, select a simpler professional alternative. Example, use prison instead of penitentiary, or bruise instead of contusion. This is discussed on pages 140 and 143. Recognize under 422.2 the importance of using the correct parts of speech. Using correct parts of speech, nouns, pronouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, prepositions, conjunctions, is essential to constructing grammatically correct sentences. This ensures that the text flows logically and that the reader can clearly understand the message without being distracted by grammatical errors, which otherwise make the officer look unprofessional and incompetent. This is on page 140. Describe how to use proper sentence structure when writing a report. Every sentence must express a complete thought and contain a subject, a verb, and usually an object. Ensure subject-verb agreement. Singular subjects require singular verbs. Plural subjects require plural verbs. Avoid sentence fragments by making sure no required subject, verb, or object is missing. Write in the first person or third person depending on agency policy. Use the active voice. Subject performs the action before the verb. And write in the past tense. Since the events have already occurred, keep the tense consistent throughout. That's all discussed on 141 and 142. 422.4, recognize the importance of using correct spelling and capitalization when writing a report. Correct spelling prevents confusion. Example, spell check. won't flag quote-unquote THERE instead of quote-unquote THEIR. Capitalization must follow standard rules unless agency policy mandates all capital letters. Proper capitalization rules include capitalize specific names of people, streets, cities, and states, capitalize names of organizations and buildings only when specific, capitalize holidays, days, and months, capitalize specific geographic locations but not directional words, capitalize professional titles only when a name is attached, and capitalize brand names, as discussed on page 143. 422.5, recognize the importance of using correct punctuation when writing a report. Improper punctuation can lead to confusing or misleading reports. Key rules include commas, used to separate two complete sentences joined by a coordinating conjunction, use after an introductory clause, used to separate items in a series of three or more, used to separate non-essential phrases, used between coordinate adjectives, used to introduce a direct quote, and used within dates and addresses, discussed on page 144 through 145. Apostrophes, used to show possession or to form a contraction, only use contractions when writing direct quotes. That's on page 145. Quotation marks, placed around a person's exact words when using a direct quote. Do not use them when paraphrasing or summarizing. Page 145.